New Jersey, 1922. A 24-year-old woman named Maggia sits in a dentist's chair. When the dentist reaches in with his forceps to extract a painful tooth, her entire lower jawbone detaches. It comes away in his hand, clean. Molly is fully conscious, and while her dentist is reeling in shock, the executives at the company paying her salary already know exactly why her skeleton is disintegrating. To keep her quiet, the company's doctor officially records her cause of death 6 months later as syphilis. They choose a diagnosis that carries a social stigma, effectively silencing her family. Molly's death began a pattern. Over the next decade, dozens of women would develop the same symptoms, and each time the company would meet them with the same diagnosis. 5 years earlier, in 1917, the United States Radium Corporation opens a bright, modern factory. For a young working-class woman in New Jersey, this is a highly coveted job. The environment is clean, the work is skilled, and it pays triple the standard wage. The women are hired to paint the tiny numerals on military watches, using a special luminous paint called undark. The active ingredient is radium. The women consider themselves the luckiest workers in the state. They call themselves the Shining Girls. After a long shift, they walk home in the dark with glowing hair, glowing clothes, and even glowing teeth. Management repeatedly assures them that radium is a health-boosting wonder element. Because the watch dials are so incredibly small, the women are instructed to use a specific technique called lip dipping. They place the camel hair brushes in their mouths, drawing the bristles to a sharp point with their lips. Paint, lip, point, paint. They repeat this hundreds of times every single shift. When a worker asks if swallowing the glowing paint is safe, a supervisor tells her it will give her rosy cheeks. That supervisor is watching her from behind a heavy, lead-lined apron. By 1922, the physical toll begins to surface. Women report tooth sockets that refuse to heal after extractions. They suffer agonizing joint pain. Slowly, their bones start crumbling from the inside out. This is a diagram comparing a radium atom to a calcium atom. On a molecular level, the human body cannot tell the difference between the two. When the women swallow the undark paint, their digestive systems don't filter it out as a toxin. Their bodies welcome it in, passing the radium directly through the stomach and into the bloodstream. The body takes that radium and attempts to use it to build bone tissue. It embeds the radioactive element directly into the skeleton, locking it into the space where actual calcium is supposed to go. Once it settles into the jaw, the spine, and the legs, the radium sits there, and it irradiates. It continues to blast the surrounding tissue from the inside out, hour after hour, for decades. The lip dipping technique turns the workers' bodies into living, crumbling radioactive reactors, and the physical destruction is irreversible. As the death toll rises, the U.S. Radium Corporation wages a psychological war against its own employees. By officially labeling these bone necrosis deaths as syphilis, they successfully isolate the women and destroy their credibility. In 1924, the escalating health crisis forces the company to hire Dr. Cecil Drinker, a Harvard physiologist, to conduct an independent investigation. Dr. Drinker finds conclusive proof of mass radium poisoning. He submits his report, but the company intercepts it. Corporate lawyers strip out Drinker's conclusions. They fabricate data suggesting the workers are in perfect health, and they submit this forged document to government regulators as if it were the original.
On the factory floor, young women continue putting glowing paintbrushes in their mouths. In the boardroom, executives use their institutional power to lock the scientific reality in filing cabinets. In 1928, 5 surviving dial painters, Grace Fryer, Edna Hussman, Catherine Schaub, Quinta McDonald, and Albina Larice, file a lawsuit against their employer. When the trial begins, the plaintiffs are in a devastating state of physical decay. Some require help simply to raise their right arms to take the oath. Facing overwhelming medical evidence, the company's lawyers resort to a strategy of delay. They request continuances, pushing the trial back in hopes that the women will die before the judge can reach a verdict. The pressure forces the women into a settlement for a fraction of the damages they sought. The company admits no guilt. Most of the 5 plaintiffs are dead within a year, but their physical destruction leaves behind a concrete legacy. In 1944, at the height of the Manhattan Project, the government had to figure out how to safely handle nuclear materials.
They looked to the data gathered from the women in New Jersey. The strict radiation safety protocols, lead shielding, and dosimetry standards of the atomic age are built upon the medical reality of the Radium Girls. To prove the sheer persistence of the element, forensic scientists exhumed Molly Maggia in 1927, 5 years after her jawbone crumbled in the dentist chair. When they turned out the lights in the examination room, they saw it. Her remains were still emitting measurable radiation. They were still glowing in the dark. The United States Radium Corporation promised its workers a safe, health-boosting job. Instead, they left behind the data used to protect every generation that followed, a legacy written permanently